Welcome to The More You Know. I am sorry for the delay for those of you who have so graciously subscribed to my channel. Apparently, content production on a consistent basis is very hard. I'm learning that I'm not good at it. Hopefully that will change with some videos this upcoming week. Today we're going to talk about how to eliminate, or at the very least drastically reduce, your number one expense in life, your housing expense. Charlie, how am I going to do that? Man, I'm so glad you asked. That's literally why we're here today, okay? To talk about something called house hacking. Now, what I'm about to describe is not always fun. And what I'm about to describe is certainly not always easy. This has been what I'm going to describe like there's countless hours, sometimes tears and sweat and late nights where you thought it was going to take an hour and it took 4 hours that go into this. It's, hey, mom and dad, I know you were coming into town to meet your grandson, but I need you to help me in the basement for the next 4 hours.
Thanks, Dad.
That's okay.
That's right. It's a lot of those nights. Shout out to mom and dad. Thank you. Most of you aren't going to do this. Some of you aren't going to do this because you're lazy. Some of you aren't going to do this because you don't believe in real estate and the power of real estate. Some of you aren't going to do this because you don't have the money in your bank account. Some of you aren't going to do this because you don't have the houses in your market that make sense to do it. I do believe that a lot more people can do this than think they can. And so we're going to talk about house hacking. I think it's a great strategy. I think it's one of the just like lowest thresholds of entry into building wealth through real estate. I think it was Ben Franklin that said, "A penny saved is a penny earned." I'm sitting here on July 5th, very fitting day to quote Ben Franklin. And I think he was right about that, right? A penny saved is a penny earned. There is truth to that. But also I want to say that a penny less that you spend in living expenses is also a penny earned. Now, it doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Ben Franklin's famous saying, but it is true. If you can get your car payment down, it's like earning more money, right? If you can get your utility payment down, it's like earning more money. It's why people do solar panels if it makes sense for them. If you can get your housing expense down, one of your biggest expenses in life that will be from now until you die, I don't care if you're on long-term disability insurance, you're paying for that insurance right now, right? Your housing expense is going to be one of your, if not your largest expense every month of your life from now until the time that you die. And I'm saying that a penny less that you have to spend is equivalent to earning a penny in real estate. Dave Ramsey gets a lot of shade online.
Not sure where you went to school for your math class, but you failed.
Okay. And I think sometimes for a good reason, but generally I really like Dave Ramsey. Like, I think he does a lot of good. I think he's helped a lot of people get out of debt. I think he gives a lot of good advice, and I think you should take financial peace, yada, yada, yada. I took financial peace. I liked it. It helped me. But one thing that I think that can be misleading or unhelpful or just a little paradigm shift that I would like to throw on the table is he throws out this example of going to Starbucks every day and how much money you spend every day. And everyone has this, oh no moment when they realize, if I go to Starbucks 4 times a week and I spend this much per day, So let's tease that out for a second. Let's tease that Starbucks example out, and let's raise the ante. Let's say you're going out to lunch every day. There's about 21 work days in an average month, okay? So let's take 21, and let's say that you're going to spend about $12.50 on lunch, okay? Sometimes more, sometimes less. And then let's say every day you're going to go to Starbucks, and sometimes you're going to get a venti, some espresso-based drink that's going to be like $7. Sometimes you're just going to get coffee. It's going to average out to about $5.50 a day. Every day, 5 days a week, 21 work days a month on average. Let's say you're going to spend $18 a day just in that lunchtime hour between lunch and coffee. Now, if I take 18, right, and I multiply it by 21, I get $378. Now, if I take that $378 a month, I multiply it by 12, that makes $4,536. Now, let's take another living expense, or just another monthly expense that a lot of us have, a gym membership. Now, I personally think you should save as much money as you can on this thing, especially if you use it as often as I do. I spend $10 a month on my gym. But let's say you upped your $10 a month Planet Fitness membership to a more ritzy gym at $90 a month. $80 difference there, right? If you took 80 times 12, that'd be $960. Now, let's take your daily coffee and your daily lunch, and let's combine them, and then your gym membership, and let's combine all of those for a grand total of $5,496 annually. All right. All I want to say is, what if we shifted the emphasis of the question? Now, listen, I'm not saying go spend that money. I drink coffee at home every morning, right? I have a $10 gym membership. I think cut costs where you can. Yes and amen. But what if we shifted the emphasis of the question to, is there any avenue in my life where I can make additional income to cover those expenses? That's all I'm saying. Can I teach piano lessons? Can I rent my car out on Turo? What can I do to cover that expense? What we've decided to do as a family, and what I think is the lowest threshold of entry into the real estate game, is something called house hacking. Let's take a very simple example of house hacking. You buy a home and you rent out one of the bedrooms at $600 a month. That's it. You buy a home and you rent out one bedroom for $600 a month. Now do the math. If you rent out one bedroom at $600 a month for 12 months, you have now covered that $5,496 expense of upping your gym membership, eating out every day, and getting Starbucks every day. Again, don't do those three things, right? Save that money. I'm simply saying, why do we always think about where can I cut? Where can I starve? Where can I slash at my budget? And we rarely ask the question, how can I make more income on a month-by-month basis, okay? House hacking is simply this: buying a home and renting out rooms or renting out floors in the home so as to lower your expenses. Now, it sounds super not glamorous, and it's not, right? It's not. But listen to the benefits of this, okay? Let's take a hypothetical, and then I'll give you my example, okay? First of all, when you're buying a house, you only have to put 3% down if you intend to live in it. 3% is very different than 20%, which is the standard to get into a rental property. Now, there's very few exceptions. So generally speaking, let's say 20% you're going to need in order to buy a rental property. If you're house hacking, all you need is a whopping 3% of the purchase price as a down payment, and you are in the door on an asset that could potentially make you money every single month. So let's take a $400,000 house, 3% down. You'll have additional closing costs, but your down payment will be around $12,000. Now, current interest rates, your mortgage will be about $2,600, give or take, right? That's your break-even principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, depending on where you live. Let's call it 25 to 28. Let's land on $2,600 a month for your interest, for your mortgage. Now, let's say you took 3 bedrooms at $650 per bedroom. Let's say you bought a 4-bedroom house. You take the master, right? And then you're in a market where you can get $650 per the other 3 bedrooms. That's $1,950 a month. Now, take your $2,600 a month payment, subtract $1,950 from it, and you are living for a whopping total of $650 every month. 3 other people are paying down your loan balance every single month and building up equity in a property for you. So here's our story. We bought a house in East Charlotte about a year and a half ago. Now, this house was horribly outdated. The first time I walked in this house, there was a cockroach in the middle of the floor. It was the first thing we saw. I thought, there's no chance we're going to buy this house, but let's just go see it, right? Because it's close to our church. Rowan, my oldest son, was with us, and he's like, Dad, let's not buy this house. I don't like cockroaches. It's like, he didn't know the word omen, but he was kind of like, it's an omen. We shouldn't buy this house, right? And if you had walked through that house, you would have thought the same thing. You don't have to be a structural engineer to be like, there were some foundation issues in this house. The yard was there were old Colt 45 bottles all throughout the yard, glass, weird dog bowls, toys, just junk. The yard was just absolutely festering pile of junk. This house had never received any TLC. It was in not the best part of town, not the worst part of town, not the best part of town. People aren't flocking to this part of town. At least they weren't a year and a half ago. Now, at that time, everything was going under contract in a day or two, but this one had sat on the market for 4 or 5 days, 6 days. I'm starting to look at it and I think, man, maybe we should make an offer on this. So we go ahead, we get pre qualified, we make the offer. And really, what it came down to for us was it was close to our church. There was some development that the city was doing not far, just a stone's throw away from this house. And we could rent out the basement.
Light bulb.
It was immediate rental income. We didn't have to get additional pre-qualification, didn't have to put 20% down, didn't have to go through a whole nother buy process. We had essentially a rental in our basement. It already had a kitchen down there. It already had a bathroom down there. It already had a bedroom down there. And what you have to understand about Charlotte is there's not a lot of basements here in general. Being from the Northeast, I love basements. All the houses I know have basements. I don't like that there aren't basements down here. So just the fact that even if we aren't going to rent this basement one day, the fact that it could be ours and we would have a basement, like, I just love the fact that this house had a basement. But the fact that it had rental income, that is the definition of wealth building, is having someone else pay down a low interest loan for you right now. Thankfully, we were able to buy this house at a time when interest rates were really, really low. So we got a 2.875 interest rate. Now, again, the house was hideous. Original pink bathroom, metal windows, walls everywhere because people just liked walls in the 1950s. Foundation issues, you name it, this house had it. We put $75,000 of renovation into this house. Now, I don't know about you. I don't have $75,000 cash laying around just to throw into a house.
You don't happen to have $8,000 on you?
Oh, no, we don't use money in heaven.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting. Comes in pretty handy down here, bub.
So we did something called a home renovation loan, where we baked in to the life of our 30-year loan the renovation costs. That's another YouTube video for another day. Totally worth it. Upped my my mortgage payment by about $300 or $400 a month. Totally worth it because I got an almost fully remodeled house as a result of it. Okay, so when we first moved in, our mortgage payment still is $1,810 a month. Now, one day when I drop PMI, right, private mortgage insurance, we'll drop about $70 to below $1,800. But right now we're at $1,810 a month. And what we first did was we found a seminary student and his wife. There's a local seminary here in Charlotte, and we rented it to them for $900 a month. Now that's almost exactly our half of our mortgage payment. You got to factor in that they're using water, which is not on a separate meter. They're using electric, which is not on a separate meter. Wear and tear on the house, maintenance, things like that. And so it really only ended up pocketing in our pocket $500 to $600 a month when you added all the expenses up. Now, when they left a few months ago, we said, "Are we going to keep it for ourselves and not rent it out?" And we said no, because we are not in a place financially where we can do that. We wouldn't have bought this house, right, had we not been able to rent it out. But we also didn't love having someone down there every single night of the month. And so we said, why don't we pivot to something that we had thought about? Why don't we pivot to Airbnb? So we've been Airbnb-ing the house for the last 3-ish months, okay? And at the end of 96 days, we will have made at the end of 96 days, we will have made $5,500. 3 months, 96 days, $5,500. We are on track to make $20,900. Now, for those of you who are quick at math, 1810, my mortgage, times 12 is $21,720. $21,720 minus $20,900. That is what I am on the hook for. Now, I don't even think I'll be on the hook for that, because we're still working out the kinks. We're still adjusting the prices. Airbnb, how to run numbers on Airbnb, that's another episode for another day. I think if we can do $5,500 in the first 3 months, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to do $6,000, $7,000 in the next quarters, right? And so I'm hoping this dollar for dollar covers our mortgage. I didn't think it would when I bought the house. I just thought it would offset our mortgage through long-term renters. Here's why we did Airbnb. We did Airbnb for many reasons. One, we want family and friends to be able to visit. We want to be able to go in and block the calendar and have family and friends stay down there whenever we want. Two, it's fun. It's fun to show hospitality. It's fun to put on those finishing touches for people. It's fun to get good reviews and have people say nice things about your property. It's fun to decorate. My wife is very good at that. Pause. I'm going to show these pictures throughout this video of this Airbnb. If you think my wife should be an interior designer, would you please comment and say that? Because I think she should be. I think it's in her genes from her mom. She should absolutely start a side hustle doing interior design. If Molly should start an interior design company, let me know in the comment section. It's fun. Like, we've gotten to meet a lot of fun people. We had the country's best pickleball player stay in our basement. So apparently pickleball is growing like crazy. And he was in town for a tournament. And he told us he was in town for a tournament in the comments. But I just thought, like, maybe he's just like a dude who likes to play pickleballs with his friends on the weekends. No, the dude won the U.S. Open. Google U.S. Open winner pickleball. He stayed in our basement. A law student was here for the entire summer, over 2 months. Became friends with our kids, visited our church, just like came over for, for meals and just we got to form friendships with people. So it's been really fun meeting people, been fun hosting, been fun showing the hospitality, decorating. It's just awesome.
Because I love football. Football's fun.
Fun, sir.
Fun, sir.
It's fun.
Yes.
You sure?
We make more money than we do. And just vacancy. Like, the fact that some nights there's no one down there is amazing, right? Like, it feels good to just be able to watch a movie as loud as you want, or be able to cry, be able to fight and be able to whatever, like do whatever you want to do, wrestle with your kids. Feels good to be able to make noise and not have to worry about anyone in your basement some nights. So the vacancy is actually nice because it is stressful, right? Like, I'm not sitting here saying like, this has been a breeze. No, like when you're out with your family and someone calls and it's like, hey, there's water dripping on my head. That stuff happens. It's happened many times. We live in a house built in the 1950s. So don't hear me saying this is going to be stress-free. It's not. It's really hard. Like, it really stinks sometimes. So it's not always convenient. It's not always easy, but it's totally worth it because house hacking can get you into a house 3% down, not 20, 3% down. If you do it right, you can cover all of your living costs, all of your mortgage, or a lion's share of your mortgage. And we've really enjoyed it. So think about it. Look at the numbers. Run some numbers, see how many bedrooms you can get in a house, see if you can find a house with separate entrance, turn it into an Airbnb like we did. House hacking is such a good way to start in the real estate biz. I would not be where I am had we not been able to offset our mortgage like we have been for the last year. I'm out for now. Can't wait to see you guys again. And I think my next video is going to be about my mountain Airbnb. Do me a big favor, like and subscribe if you've learned anything from this channel. If I've made you laugh, if I've made you smile, if I've made you think, like and subscribe. That would mean the world. I'll see you on my next video.